Hercules, known in Greek mythology as Heracles or Herakles, is one of the best-known heroes in ancient mythology. His life was not easy, he endured many trials and completed many daunting tasks, but the reward for his suffering was a promise that he would live forever among the gods at Mount Olympus. Was Hercules a god? Hercules was not a god but was born a mortal, although, like many mythic heroes, he had a complicated family tree. According to legend, his father was Zeus, ruler of all the Greek gods on Mount Olympus and all the mortals on earth, and his mother was Alcmene, the granddaughter of the hero Perseus. Perseus, who was also said to be one of Zeus' sons, famously beheaded the snake-haired Gorgon Medusa. Did you know? The constellation Hercules is the fifth largest one in the sky. After Hercules was born, Hera sent 2 snakes to kill him in his crib. The infant Hercules was unusually strong and fearless, however, and he strangled the snakes before they could strangle him. But Hera kept up her dirty tricks. When her stepson was a young adult, she cast a kind of spell on him that drove him temporarily insane and caused him to murder his beloved wife and their 2 children. Guilty and heartbroken, Hercules tracked down Apollo, the god of truth and healing, and another of Zeus' sons, and begged to be punished for what he had done. Apollo understood that Hercules' crime had not been his fault, Hera's vengeful actions were no secret, but still he insisted that the young man make amends. He ordered Hercules to perform 12 labors for the Mycenaean king Eurystheus. Once Hercules completed every one of the labors, Apollo declared, he would be absolved of his guilt and achieve immortality. The Nemean lion. First, Apollo sent Hercules to the hills of Nemea to kill a lion that was terrorizing the people of the region. Hercules trapped the lion in its cave and strangled it. For the rest of his life, he wore the animal's pelt as a cloak. The Lernaean Hydra. Next, Hercules set off to capture the sacred pet of the goddess Diana, a red deer, or hind, with golden antlers and bronze hooves. Eurystheus had chosen this task for his rival because he believed that Diana would kill anyone she caught trying to steal her pet. However, once Hercules explained his situation to the goddess, she allowed him to go on his way without punishment. The Erymanthian boar. Fourth, Hercules used a giant net to snare the terrifying, man-eating wild boar of Mount Erymanthus. The Augean stables. Hercules' 5th task was supposed to be humiliating as well as impossible, cleaning all the manure out of King Augea's enormous stables in a single day. However, Hercules completed the job easily, flooding the barn by diverting 2 nearby rivers. The Stymphalean birds. Hercules' 6th task was straightforward: travel to the town of Stymphalos and drive away the huge flock of carnivorous birds that had taken up residence in its trees. This time, it was the goddess Athena who came to the hero's aid. She gave him a pair of magical bronze crotala, or noisemakers, forged by the god Hephaestos. Hercules used these tools to frighten the birds away. The Cretan bull. Next, Hercules went to Crete to capture a rampaging bull that had impregnated the wife of the island's king. She later gave birth to the Minotaur, a creature with a man's body and a bull's head. Hercules drove the bull back to Eurystheus, who released it into the streets of Marathon. The horses of Diams. Hercules' 8th challenge was to capture the 4 man-eating horses of the Thracian king Diams. He brought them to Eurystheus, who dedicated the horses to Hera and set them free. Hippolyte's belt. The 9th labor was complicated, stealing an armored belt that belonged to the Amazon queen Hippolyte. At first, the queen welcomed Hercules and agreed to give him the belt without a fight. However, the troublemaking Hera disguised herself as an Amazon warrior and spread a rumor that Hercules intended to kidnap the queen. To protect their leader, the women attacked the hero's fleet. Then, fearing for his safety, Hercules killed Hippolyte and ripped the belt from her body. The cattle of Geryon. For his 10th labor, Hercules was dispatched nearly to Africa to steal the cattle of the 3-headed, 6-legged monster Geryon. Once again, Hera did all she could to prevent the hero from succeeding, but eventually, he returned to Mycenae with the cows. The apples of Hesperides. Next, Eurystheus sent Hercules to steal Hera's wedding gift to Zeus, a set of golden apples guarded by a group of nymphs known as the Hesperides. This task was difficult. Hercules needed the help of the Titan Prometheus and the god Atlas to pull it off, but the hero eventually managed to run away with the apples. After he showed them to the king, he returned them to the god's garden where they belonged. Cerberus. For his final challenge, Hercules traveled to Hades to kidnap Cerberus, the vicious three-headed dog that guarded its gates. Hercules managed to capture Cerberus by using his superhuman strength to wrestle the monster to the ground. Afterward, the dog returned unharmed to his post at the entrance to the underworld. How did Hercules die? After completing his 12 labors, Hercules had a number of other adventures, rescuing the princess of Troy and battling for control of Mount Olympus, but none were as taxing or as significant as the labors had been. Later in his life, Hercules married his second wife, Deianira. When a centaur, a half-man, half-horse, attempts to steal her away, Hercules shot him with an arrow that he had soaked in the poison of the Hydra. As he lay dying, the centaur, realizing that his own blood is now also poisonous, gave his blood-stained tunic to Deianira, lying to her that it will forever bind Hercules to her. Years later, when Deianira hears a rumor that Hercules is having an affair, she gave him the blood-stained tunic to wear, hoping it will bring him back to her. However, the poisoned blood on the tunic burns Hercules' flesh, causing intense pain. Realizing that he has been poisoned, Hercules builds his own funeral pyre and burns himself to death on it. After he died, Athena carried him to Olympus on her chariot. According to legend, he will spend the rest of eternity with the gods. If you like my videos, please subscribe and like my channel and make it a success.